Now there's lots of news to report, including more fallout from the Royal Rumble. Join us now as Wrestlemania looks at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including Nikki and Brie both being pregnant, WWE tells NXT superstars not to tweet or call out main roster stars, Lesnar's next in-ring appearance, WWE almost went with a different Royal Rumble winner, and it's not Roman Reigns, some more rumors regarding Wrestlemania 36, no Royal Rumble ratings bump for Raw, Triple H's bad joke reopens old wounds for Paige, Booker T scaring off Dave Meltzer at the Jeri-Cruise, and Edge's massive payday. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the first story, as the Bella twins are both pregnant. Now, Nikki Bella will be walking down the aisle soon, as she recently got engaged to pro dancer Artem, I can't pronounce his name for the life of me, Chigvintsev, and sister Brie is settling into the 6th year of her marriage with daughter Birdie and husband Daniel Bryan. Things, however, are changing for the twins, as they confirmed with People magazine that they are both pregnant and are 2 weeks apart. Congratulations to both of them. Next up, WWE tells NXT superstars not to tweet or call out main roster stars. But the biggest news coming out of the Royal Rumble was the rumoured heated confrontation between Bro Matt Riddle and the Beast Incarnate. Yesterday we revealed what kind of verbal exchange the two superstars had, with Lesnar mentioning he won't work with him ever and to keep his name out of his mouth. Now it seems that this is all true, as Riddle's actions have led to WWE referencing the altercation in a media class on Tuesday at the WWE Performance Center, where they were told not to mention or call out any main roster wrestlers without WWE knowing about it first. PW Insider reports, there's absolutely truth to the story, to the point that earlier today, during a media class at the WWE Performance Center, there was a specific mention of not tweeting and calling out talents from Raw and SmackDown without their knowledge, which got a big laugh from the NXT talents in attendance. Now we guess this is to prevent any rumoured or upcoming storylines or feuds between NXT and the main roster. After all, it's WWE's call on who should be feuding, not the talent themselves. But speaking of the WWE Champion, when is his next in-ring appearance? Now if you're wondering when Brock Lesnar is scheduled for his next in-ring appearance, it won't be WrestleMania 36. That's at least according to Bodyslam.net's Jeff Martin. In an exclusive story, Martin reports, a source close to the situation has informed me that the WWE Champion will compete in a match at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. If Lesnar does indeed wrestle at Showdown, who would you like to see him face? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, somebody else other than Roman Reigns was considered to win the Royal Rumble this year. Drew McIntyre is looking to become the first Scottish WWE champion, but as history has shown, he's got a brutal battle ahead of him as he sets his sights on Brock Lesnar. While the Scottish psychopath won the Royal Rumble, rumour has it that WWE was considering another opponent for the Beast. During an episode of the Wrestling Observer Radio, the human rumour mill machine Dave Meltzer observed, Aleister Black was in the running for the Lesnar match. The decision was made to go with McIntyre. It was probably the right decision considering it's early for Aleister Black, but he was absolutely in the running for that decision. While Aleister Black has been getting a steady push, albeit a slow one, we couldn't imagine the Dutch Destroyer winning the 2020 Royal Rumble just yet. It would be just too early. As we noted in an earlier news video, the WWE changed the winners of both the men's and women's Rumble this year after betting sites predicted Shayna Baszler and Roman Reigns. Black still has some time to go before he gets into the main event, although depending on Samoa Joe's condition, he could easily join Kevin Owens in his battle against Seth Rollins and his disciples. Next up, the rumoured WrestleMania 36 lineup. The Showcase of the Immortals is just over 2 months away, and fans are wondering what some of the top matches are going to be. I would like to invite you to think about what you may have heard here or elsewhere, then compare it to Dave Nostradamus Meltzer's recent forecast for Mania. He mentioned Becky Lynch vs Shayna Baszler is on the books for WrestleMania, but Charlotte Flair vs Bayley is not happening at the present time. As noted last night, Brock Lesnar vs Drew McIntyre, Bray Wyatt vs Roman Reigns, and Randy Orton vs Edge are also on the books. This prediction lines up with everything we've heard over the last few weeks, and as reported earlier today, it appears Charlotte Flair will challenge NXT champion Rhea Ripley for the Black and Gold's Women's Championship, as the Queen is scheduled to appear on NXT this Wednesday, so we could expect something big. Next up, Booker T is back in action. Although the WWE Universe didn't get a Harlem Heat vs Revival match at the Rumble, Two-time WWE Hall of Famer Booker T is stepping back into the ring. Regrettably, it won't be in the WWE, but in Booker's reality of wrestling promotion. Let's keep our fingers crossed for a Booker return, even if it's only for one night. Next up, no Royal Rumble ratings bump for Raw. Now, despite a big finish to the Men's Royal Rumble, the 27th January Raw didn't get a significant bump in the ratings. PW Insider's Dave Shearer reports, the 27th January edition of Raw brought in 2,402,000 overnight viewers, up from last week's 2,380,000 overnight viewers. The first 2 hours were down against last week, while hour 3 was up, so Edge's promo kept enough people engaged to get a net gain this week. Looking at Raw's hour-by-hour ratings breakdown shows this week's show lost a smaller percentage of viewers than the previous week. Now, hour 3 of Raw only lost 8% of hour 2's viewers, compared to the previous week losing 15% in hour 3. While it's possible the Lana vs Liv Morgan match kept fans tuned in, we're gonna go out on the limb and say it was Edge's promo segment that kept fans tuned in. The biggest downer about the ratings is that Raw underperformed for a post-Rumble show, continuing the trend from the last few years of declining ratings. Last year's post-Rumble Raw averaged 2.71 million viewers compared to this year's 2.40. While this may seem negligible, consider 2016's post-Rumble rating averaged 4.10 million. Ouch. Next up, Triple H's bad joke reopens old wounds for Paige. While Triple H has apologized to Paige for his bad joke that Paige probably has some kids she doesn't know about, the former WWE superstar recently spoke to Lillian Garcia, noting Helmsley's remark. It kinda just ignited this thing where it opened the door for all these fans to attack me and take pictures and screenshots and videos. And then all of a sudden it's being sent to Paige's boyfriend Ronnie and to my family and stuff like that all over again, and it took me a couple of years to really get over it. Paige, who you may recall had private photos and videos hacked and released online in 2017, struggled with this as well as her discovery that she could not bear children. During her appearance on Garcia's Chasing Glory podcast, like I said earlier, I had to talk to 4 different therapists. Like, I was thinking about suicide back then. I was really in a dark place. And then knowing that I couldn't have kids too, so that whole joke was just bad. I was like, I can't have kids, and then all of a sudden these videos are being brought up, so it was just all of this stuff, kind of like an influx of hatred just thrown at me by all these fans. And I'm just like, damn, I was just getting over this, and now it just all came back again, and now I have poor Ronnie who has to be involved in all this, and my family again has to be involved in this. Now, there's definitely a number of online scumbags who take it upon themselves to bully others online, including celebrities. Now, whilst Paige has forgiven Triple H for his awful attempt at humour, Paige still bears the scars of the joke. Next up, did Booker T scare off Dave Meltzer at the Jeri-Cruise? Now, the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer is a controversial figure in wrestling, as you might expect from someone who operates one of wrestling's oldest dirt sheets. Rumour has it that Meltzer was persona non grata for several wrestlers during Chris Jericho's recent rock and wrestling Jeri-Cruise. You may recall some comments from Booker T last year when some pundits criticised Stevie Ray and Tori Wilson's induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. So imagine what happened when Diamond Dave ran into Booker T. During a recent episode of his podcast 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff, ATM Eric said Chavo Guerrero told him a story about Meltzer trying to sit down with Booker T and Ric Flair during a particular moment on the cruise. According to Chavo, Booker T went off on Meltzer as the dirt sheet writer tucked his tail and ran like a pussy that he is. That is a quote. Eazy later ran into Booker while they disembarked from the cruise ship and asked Booker about the incident, with Bischoff claiming Booker T confirmed it. As for Bischoff himself, the former WCW bigwig and short-lived SmackDown executive director said Meltzer was avoiding him, which was good because Bischoff feared what he might do to Meltzer. And our final story, Edge's Big Payday. The WWE Universe is still buzzing from Edge's Royal Rumble return, and the Rated R Superstar's head is likely still buzzing from that one-man concerto he took at the end of Raw, but one of the biggest questions of course is how much Edge is going to make. In an exclusive story, TalkSport's Alex McCarthy reports, "We believe it for 3 years at $3 million a year. The 11-time world champion gets paid in full as long as he competes 3 times in a year." The dates Edge has committed to is 5 matches. One being the Rumble he took part in last Sunday and 4 other matches throughout the year. On top of that, he will make 25 appearances per year. With Edge making 25 appearances, we have the feeling we'll see the return of Edge's The Cutting Edge Talk segment, a good way to get the ratings bump up from the rated R superstar and help get angles over. But there you have it guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.